Did I scare you? Happy Halloween from Auntie Dada. Well, I just had an awesome time reading my scary story to my friend's class out in Denver City, Texas, and they're having their Halloween party, and I thought that I would read you my scary story, and just so you can enjoy it too. It's called, Is It Still There? Is it still there? Randy whispered. Mike peered out the window. Yep, he answered, and started crying. Randy whimpered and bit his fist. The thing outside had chased them into an abandoned house at the edge of the woods. Mike was scared, and Randy didn't know what to do. Randy punched Mike's shoulder and hissed, "You said this would be fun, you jerk!" Mike punched him back. They both heard something shift and fall outside. Mike started chanting, "I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here." Oh. That last word was punctuated by a hoarse whine. Randy darted to another window to peer out. He glanced back at Mike's rocking body and asked, "You just made that weird noise, right? That came out of you, right?" Mike was rocking back and forth with his head in his hands. He glanced up and shook his head no. Randy's breathing got jagged. His stomach began to hurt from trembling. Mike's eyes got huge, and he pointed behind Randy's head. Randy swiveled slowly on his toes. In the window behind him, a woman pressed her haggard, wrinkled face against the window and moaned. "Oh." Randy took one look and howled. Mike stood and started backing away. A dark figure stepped out of the hallway and swept him up into his arms. Mike's legs windmilled as he struggled. Randy saw Mike wet his pants in fear and ran for the door. His little 80-pound body bulleted in the screen door at high speed. All that was left a few seconds later was a huge hole in the screen and the sound of Randy's retreating feet as he ran into the woods. The figure holding Mike sniffed, then asked, "Oh, geez, man, did you pee your pants? Oh." It tossed Mike to the floor and pointed at him. "You did? I can't believe you actually peed your pants." Ah. A ski mask was tossed aside to reveal Curtis, Mike's 14-year-old brother. He chuckled at his terrified younger brother, who glared at him, then stood and pulled the damp crotch of his jeans away from his skin. Mike yelled, "Wow, really? That is so not right, man." Curtis just laughed at Mike's glare, then said, "Not right, but funny. Worth the look on your face for sure." Mike stuck his tongue out at him. Curtis looked at the front door and said, "Holy moly! Did Randy do that?" Mike looked at the hole in the screen too. "I guess so. I never realized he could run so fast." Curtis snorted and said, "Some friend took off and left you to get eaten up." Mike said, "He's only 10. "Yeah, and you're only 12 and he still left," Curtis said. Curtis looked at Mike asked, "Who was that old lady?" Curtis looked at him in confusion. "What old lady?" he asked. Mike's face paled. He whispered, "The one who was at the window. Didn't you see her?" Curtis walked up to the window, stared at it a moment, then cupped his hands around his mouth and huffed on the glass. The outline of a face appeared on the glass. Mike and Curtis stepped back from the screaming face that evaporated. Randy's cry of terror shattered the night. Curtis looked grim. He motioned to Mike. "Let's go get Randy," he said. Mike shook his head and pointed in the darkness. "I am not going out there." Curtis glared at him, then broke the leg off a nearby chair and handed it to him. Mike held it limply. Curtis broke off another leg for himself and pushed the open, destroyed screen door. He took a deep breath before jogging toward where he thought the scream came from. He stopped after a few feet and glared back at the house. He shouted, "Now, Mike, or I'll tell Mom." Mike reluctantly followed his brother. Curtis found a bit of Randy's t-shirt caught in the bark of a tree. Mike searched around it. He found Randy's shoe. Curtis asked, "You think he's okay?" Mike stared into the shoe and answered, "No, he's not okay." Curtis asked, "How do you know?" Mike looked up. "His foot is still in there." They never found the rest of Randy. Happy Halloween. Yee. Hope you get lots of treats tonight and have fun in your costumes. And I will see you soon. Bye, littles.